Om Makradunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Panchamodhyayaha
Atha Panchamo Dhyayaha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shloka number 6. Sanyasastu Mahabaho
Sanyasastu Mahabaho.
Sanyasastu Mahabaho Dukkhamaptumayogataha
Sanyasastu Mahabaho Dukkha Maptu Mayogataha.
Yoga Yukta Munir Brahmana Chirena Digacchati
Yoga Yukto Munir Brahma Nachirena Gacchati.
Sanyasaha tu Ayogataha, for the one who is not prepared, Ayogataha Dukkham Aptam Ayogataha. It is difficult for the one who is Ayogataha, who is not prepared. Na yogaha, ayogaha, ayogataha, for the one who is not prepared, it is difficult. Sanyasaha, dukkam, causes difficulty. So difficult to accomplish. Ayogataha, without karma yoga. Without karma yoga, sannyasa is difficult. That is the meaning. Yoga yuktaha, then one who is committed to the life of yoga yuktaha, karma yoga yuktaha, saha, munihi, is got buddhi, therefore he can, it does the thinking, is capable of thinking, reasoning properly. Therefore, saha na chirena adhikachati, na chirena adhikachati. Doesn't reach Brahma after a long time. It means he gains Brahma immediately. That is the meaning. So na chirena, not after a long time. He has got, once he has the maturity, he gains Brahma quickly. Achirena adhikachati. So therefore, being a karma yogi, the person gains Brahma, and sannyasi also gains Brahma. Therefore, lifestyles are different, but goal is same. Then next shloka, let us read how this is. It's explained. How he gains quickly Brahma. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha
Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijitatma Jitendriyaha.
sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate.
Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi na Libhyate.
Yoga yuktaha, endowed with yoga, karma yoga, the person who is committed to the life of Karma Yoga, Yoga Yuktaha Vishuddha Atma, he has got Atma Antakaranam. Atma is not Sachidananda Atma. Antakaranam is Vishuddha, Shuddha, Malavarjitaha, Nitanta Swantaha. Is Antakaranam is pure, purity of the mind, which he achieved by the Karma Yoga lifestyle. Neutralized Raga Dvesha. Raga Dveshas are relatively neutralized. Therefore, Vishuddha. That is Shuddhikaranam. Vijitatma. Here Atma is, see, the same Atma used in many senses. Atma is Sachidananda Atma. Atma can mean body. Atma can mean mind. Pratehatma. Atma is Atma, self. Here Vijitatma. Vijita, already Vishuddhatma Antakaranam is said. Therefore, here Vijitatma. Here Atma, you have to give the meaning. Therefore, Atma referring to the Shariram, or Atma referring to Vijitaha Atma Indriyani. Indriyani also Karmendriyani. Why? Vijitaha Atma, Atma meaning here Karmendriyani, Yena Saha. Vijitani Indriyani, Karmendriyani. Yena Saha, the one who has mastery over Karmendriyas. Why Karmendriya alone? Why not Janindra? Because there is another word, Jitendriyaha. There it is, Indriya is given. Therefore, here we take Karmendriya. Vijitatma, Jitendriya. Here Vijitatma, Atma is Karmendriya. Jitendriya, there Indriya is Jnanendriya. Jitani Indriyani Yena Saha Jitendriyaha. So he has got mastery over Karmendriya, mastery over Jnanendriya, Shama Dama. Yes. So all these he has gained because of, that is called Vishuddha. All these gained because of his Karma Yoga, Antakarana Shuddhi, because of which he gained Sadhana Chatushtaya, Sampatti, Shama Dama, etc. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Now this is Jnanam. Because he is committed to lifestyle, therefore he gains the preparedness, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, and he has gained the vision because of jnanam. Then sarva bhutatma bhutatma, being a karma yogi, after having gained antakarna shuddhi, then pramana vichara, that is jnana yoga, pramana vichara, tena sarva bhutatma bhutatma, he sees himself in all the beings, oneself as self, atma as in all the beings. Therefore, that person, kurvannapi na lipyate, even though he does karma, but he is not affected by the karma, karma pala. Iti. How the karma yogi gains Brahma is said. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma, vijitatma, jitendriya, sarvabhutatma, bhutatma, kurvannapi na lipyate, even though he does, he is not affected by karma pala, because now he has identity with Atma. One whose mind is purified by being committed to a life of karma yoga, who has mastered the body and mind, body and senses under control, and who knows oneself to be the self of all the beings. Sarva bhutatma bhutatma, oneself to be the self of all the beings. Such a person is not affected. Kurvanapi na lipyate, not tainted, not disturbed even while doing karma, not affected by karma pala. In this shloka, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna in detail how one gains this knowledge, and at the same time explain the meaning of the expression Nachirena. Nachirena Adikachati said in the previous shloka, that is explained. It takes time to gain the necessary maturity of the mind. Yes, Karma Yoga takes time. But this maturity is a result of living a life of Karma Yoga. But once this maturity is gained, then Jnanam doesn't take much time. Not much time passes before the knowledge is gained. Nachirena Adikachati. Because when pramana is operated, jnanam has to happen. Only preparation time takes. One may take years, or one may take janma. So the differences depends upon the person to person, varies. Preparedness of the person. A natural order is presented in the shloka. Bhagavan Krishna begins by saying that the person under discussion, he has a discipline of karma yoga. As a result of that, that person becomes Vishuddha Atma. One whose Atma, Antakaranam, is Vishuddha, pure, rendered pure. The word Atma refers to the mind here. So Vishuddha Atma means a person whose mind is free from the spell of Raga Dveshas, likes and dislikes. Next, the person acquires a control of the physical body. Vijitatma, Jitendriya, control of the physical body, meaning the portion, meaning the organs of action, and also the organs of control of the organs of Indriyani, Jnanendriyani, perception is called Vijitatma. The word Atma in the Vijitatma refers to the body, which has the ability to move and is therefore synonymous with the organs of action. The movements and the actions of the physical body must also be properly regulated, integrated. Therefore, the Karma Yogi is one who not only has his senses under his control, but also the organs of action in the beginning. Later it becomes natural. Once Jnanam is gained, Kurvanapi na karoti. There is only Atma. Atma alone is there. To have the control of the organs of action is possible only when one's mind is pure. Only when one's mind is pure, that is free from raga dvesha, one can have say over the organs of action, organs of knowledge. So therefore, when one's mind is pure, when it is no longer under the spell of raga dveshas. Thus, there is an order presented here, a natural order that is very beautiful. Having the discipline of karma yoga, the mind is pure, and therefore the body and mind and senses are under one's control. So this is the result of karma yoga. Such a person then becomes one who knows self as a self in all beings, and is called Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, referring to the person. Person who was Vijitatma, Vishuddhatma, now he is Sarvabhutatma, 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 Sarvabhuta Atma Bhuta Atma, Sarvabhutatma, Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, Sarvabhuta Atma Bhuta Atma. Meaning, Sarva means all, Bhuta means beings. So in all beings. And who are those beings? Every being from Brahmaji to mosquito, Brahmadi Stamba Paryantam. Starting from Brahmaji up to the smallest Pipilika and or Vashaka mosquito. All of them. This means that oneself is the self of all beings. He sees himself in all the beings. Atma in all the beings. There is no other than self or anything else apart from the Atma. That is Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma. That person. Previously, the person knew the self as separate from every other self, as a karma yogi. But now the person knows the self to be one with the self, one, the one who is the self of all the beings. So that is out of Jnanam, Shastra, Vichara. This means that the self is one non-dual self, Advaita Atma, the truth of all beings. Previously, he had the notion of separation, different Atmas. Now it is the Advaita Atma. Everything else being Anatma. So what is there is only this non-dual self, Advaita Atma eva. The self doesn't become non-dual by any process. Previously, even if he doesn't know, it was Advaita Atma. Now he knows Advaita Atma. Therefore, the Atma doesn't become non-dual by any process. It is its swarup, it is its nature. It is only by knowledge he discovers. He discovers the Atma to be non-dual, Advaita iti. By knowledge, the person discovers a fact that he or she is the Advaita Atma, that is the self of all. Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma. In the wake of this knowledge, Jnanam, the person comes to be called by the name Sarvabhuta, Sarvabhuta Atma Bhuta Atma, Sarvabhuta Atma Bhuta Atma iti. He or she performs no actions, Kurvanapi na lipyate, even though appearing to do so. First of all, they don't do any action. Meaning, Kurvanapi na lipyate, naiva kinchit karoti taha. They don't do, because Kartrutva, Abhimana are not there. Therefore, they perform no action. They do only they don't do any action, but karma of them only is karma abhasa, seeming karma, not real karma. Who can do real karma? Only the karmi can do real karma, not the jnani. So karma, therefore, karma on the part of jnani is abhasa karma, seeming, appearing to do so, as though appearing to do so, being free from the sense of doership, because kartrutva abhimana is not there. Therefore, seems to be doing, appearing to be doing. Such a person doing karma, performs karma, according to his or her prarabdha for sangrahartam, for the welfare of the world, or just to sustain the body, for the sustenance of the body. Even if they don't do loka sangrahartam, just for sustenance of the body. That itself is a loka sangraha. Yani, living is for the benefit of the world. So therefore, just to sustain the body, but he or she is not tainted, stained, or affected by the result of the karma in any manner. Kurvanapi nalipyate. The person who knows the self is self of all cannot have a sense of doership. Cannot have a sense of doership. The self performs no action whatsoever because it is all pervasive. What self can do, what action it will do. It is all pervasive. Atma. Everything is Brahma, Atma. For Atma to perform, there must be anything for to do karma. For anyone to do karma, there must be other karakas. But everything is Atma. Then what can Atma do? How can Atma perform karma? Therefore, there is no doership in Atma. The self performs therefore no action whatsoever because it is all pervasive. Even though appearing to perform actions, the wise person is free from the notion of doership and is therefore not affected by karma. Namam karma nilimpatti name karma pales Bhagavan said in the beginning. Here also, Kurvanapi nasa lipyate, not tainted, not affected. Samsara doesn't affect him anymore. Samsara in the form of this karma pala, papa punya. This is exactly what Krishna said in the 4th chapter. The person who sees non-action in action and action in non-action is wise. Karmanya karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah sa buddhiman manusyeshu sayukta kasta karma kriti. He has done all that is to be done. This then is a knowledge of sannyasa accomplished by the wise sarva bhutatma. That the atma of all beings is one atma. In fact, the Atma is of in all beings once the Atma in all beings is one's Atma is a fact, but previously the person did not know that. Now he knows. Once his knowledge takes place, awakening takes place, the person is no longer tainted, nalipyate, affected in any way by the performance of karma. The karma only will be a abhasa karma, not real. It cannot really affect the person because katrutva being not there. Therefore, they seem to perform karma, and it's only abhasa karma cannot affect the person, cannot affect the jnani. Therefore, the person finds himself or herself free of karma while performing it. So, jnani being free does karma, ajnani bound by karma, bound by being bound, they do karma. There's a difference. Where then is a question of the wise giving up karma? What can they give up? When they don't do karma, what can they give up? Only when you are affected by karma, there's a question of giving it up arise. In that case, even if you give up karma, you will still be affected by it, in the sense that if you are not doing the karma that you should be doing, you will be doing something else. If you don't do karma, you will be affected. Not doing karma is also doing only. Karmanya karmayah pashyat akarmani cha karmayaha. Because sense of kartrutvam is there. Therefore, nivritti rupa karma is also karma. And moreover, if you don't do what is to be done, you will be doing what should not be done. That is why the lifestyle of sannyasa is only appropriate. It's recommended only if one is ready for it. Otherwise, it is difficult. That is why this is said, Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogaha vishishyate. Iti. Bhagavan tells Arjuna here that only when the action is given up through knowledge is the real sannyasa. So what is real sannyasa? Giving up the sense of possession, giving up the sense of the notion of doership, wherein the person knows he or she performs no action while doing actions. Kurvanapi na karoti eva. Then Bhagavan goes on explain this, not doing in spite of doing. That is called abhasa karma. He doesn't do, he does, at the same time not doesn't do. Not doing in spite of doing. The next is two shloka number 8 as well as in 9. You have to read these shlokas together. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit
Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manye tattvavita.
Pashyan shrinvan sprashan jigran ashnan gachan sapan shvasan
Pashyan shruvan spurshyan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shvasam.
pralapan visrajan grannan unmishan nimishan api.
Pralabhan visrujan grinan unishan nimishannapi.
इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन्
Indriyan indriyanindriyartheshu vartanta iti tharayan.
yes. Naiva kinchit karometi, even though Pashyan Shriman he does. Indriyani indriyateshu vartante. Agam na kinchit karomi. Indriyas interact with the Indriya Vishaya. I don't do. Who says Yuktaha, the one who is together, that is Saptavita Jnani, who is together. So these are the activities. Pashyan, Shanvan, Prasan, Jigran, Nashtan, Gachan, Sapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visajan, Grindan, Umishan, Nimishan. All these are the actions. Therefore, the one who is Yuktaha, yogi, who knows the truth, Tattavit, Manyeta, he thinks, Manyate, I don't do anything at all. Naiva kinchit karomi. Even while Pashyan, seeing, is a seer at the same time doesn't see, hearer doesn't hear, toucher doesn't touch, smelling, eating, walking, sleeping, breathing, talking, releasing, grasping, opening and closing the eyes. The person knows fully well that the sense organs are engaged in sense objects. Indriyani indriyateshu vartante aham kinchit na karomi iti. Then, in these two shlokas, Bhagavan continues to describe the person who is a sarvabhutatma bhutatma jnani, the one who sees himself, the Atma in all the beings. It is not that such a person has done away with all actions. Rather, is he or she is not affected by them in any way. The word doing, kurvan, in the previous shloka, kurvan apina karoti said, what all the actions possible, that is list of actions given, some of the actions. The kurvan in the previous shloka, kurvan apina karoti, kurvan apina lipyate. The kurvan in the previous shloka is in the present continuous sense, present participle, meaning that while doing action, the sarvabodhatma bhutatma, that person who has a vision of Atma in all beings, himself in all beings, is not affected by the result of actions, not affected by the action as well as its results. Then, how can a person who performs action not be affected by the result of the action? Whether the person likes it or not, the result is slapped on him by him or her by the law of karma. Because you do, therefore you get the karma pala. Karma pala cannot go to some other person, it is the order. Does Krishna really mean that the person who has this knowledge is not affected by the results of his action? Yes, because the person doesn't look upon himself or herself as a doer, karta. Therefore, is not affected by the result. The Bhagavan explains this in these two shloka, giving a number of examples of the various actions that a person performs: seeing, Pashyan, Shunvan, hearing. So Pashyan, Shunvan, Sprishan, then touching, Jigran, smelling, Ashnan, eating, walking, Gachan, sleeping, Swapan, Shwasan, breathing, talking, Pralapan, releasing, Visarjan is releasing, Grindan, holding, Unmission and emission, opening the eyes and closing the eyes, Unmission, opening, and Nimission, closing. Thus, the word Kurban of the previous shloka is explained elaborately in this shloka. Kurban is what are the activities he does? Panishan, Shrinvan, Spashan, Jigran, all are Shatanta. So, Nak Varunapina Karoti. Actions can either be voluntary or involuntary, or they can be both, like breathing and opening and closing the eyelids. The activities mentioned in this shloka stand for both voluntary and involuntary actions. Certain actions are voluntary, certain actions are involuntary. Breathing is but both voluntary as well as involuntary breathing. Some activities are. Each sense organ and organs of action has its own function to perform, area of performance and own function to perform, its own purpose to serve. For example, the eye sees, the ears hear, the legs walk. And the one who knows that is described here, Yuktaha Tattvavita Tattvam Janati iti Tattvavita. Tattvavita means the knower of truth, the knower of the truth of oneself. Is Yuktaha, the person who is together. Thus, the same person was previously referred to as Yoga Yuktaha, Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma. It's called Yuktaha in this shloka, Tattvavita in this shloka. So, Yoga Yuktaha is Yuktaha, Tattvavita is Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, Tattvavita. The person who is together, who knows the truth of Jiva, the Atma, to be, the truth of Atma knows the self to be performing no action, to be one who performs no action. He knows that Aham Kinchit, Neva Kinchit Karomi, I don't do anything. Unless a person is Yukta, he or she cannot be Tattvavita. Therefore, Yukta and Tattvavita are used here to describe the person. Yuktaha is together. Is together means the person has mastery over the sense organs and he achieved by Karma Yoga is Yuktaha and Tattvavita is a Tattvam Janati Veti Tattva with Jnani. Then Lord Krishna is not giving a mandate here. Oh, here is not giving a mandate to Arjuna as a mode of the verb. Manyeta. Manyeta is, it is Mandatu Vidiling. It is Ling Lakara. It is Ling Lakara. We have Lot Lakara, Ling Lakara. Ling Lakara, two lings are the Vidiling and Ashiling. Here it is not. It is even the Manyeta in Vidiling, it means it is not a command. Manyeta. So the mode of the verb Manyeta here might suggest it is not a mandate, it is not a command. Then what is that? Manyate is equal to Manyate. He is not saying you must look upon. That is not he is saying. If it is Vidiling, then you must look upon that because of meaning. You must not look upon, you must look upon yourself as one who performs no action. That is not what he says here. What he's saying is that a person who is Yuktaha and Tattvavita doesn't consider na manyate. You have to convert that into manyate. You have to convert that into that manyate is equal to manyate. Ling lakara to lat lakara. Tattvavita enjoys a vision. Therefore, na manyate. He doesn't consider himself to be the performer of action. Rather, he knows I perform no action. Is this because there is no action performed by the person? No. Even while appearing to perform all these actions, seeing, hearing, touching, etc., the person knows that it is the sense organs and the sense organs and organs of action which are engaging themselves in their own spheres of activity, areas of activity, indriyani indriyateshu vartante. And knowing this very well, dharayan, iti dharayan, knowing this very well, what does a person think while doing this action? I perform no action whatsoever. Naiva kinchit karomi iti indriyani indriyateshu vartante. That is natural indriya. In Indriya Vishaya. I don't do anything. In the presence of me, there is interaction of Indriya and Indriya Vishaya. But I remain unaffected. This means that Aham Atma is Akarta and perform no action. This person doesn't have the sense of doership, the self, meaning that he or she doesn't look upon himself as the Karta, the doer. So for Tattvavita understand that the sense organs and sense organs of action, sense organs means sense organs of knowledge and sense organs of action. They're doing the job. So they're doing the job, they interact with sense objects. But this person, just a witness, na karoti, iti. Then in the next shloka, again, Karma Yogi is discussed. I think we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Om
Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.